wins stopped the rot to a certain extent of the last two, but overall, again, haven't scored a goal in front of our own fans. Must be a little bit concerning for you.
I think it's always concerning when you don't score goals, especially prior to the games you're talking about, when we score goals from all over the pitch. Centre halves were getting them, midfielders were getting them. It's something we've tried to we've tried to do something about. Tried to bring another centre forward in yesterday. That fell through at the last minute. That's not saying that the centre forwards are they're working really, really hard. We're creating chances, and I think we've been a little bit unlucky in some of the other games. And sometimes you just need a little bit of help, to come in, a fresh body, a fresh impetus, and create a new dynamic with appearing. So we're trying to do something about that. I think that'll, over the next sort of week or so, I think, we'll look and get one or two more in.
Certainly an improvement from Tuesday night. There seems to be more desire, especially in the second half. I mean, Mitford was through. It was a great save from Cameron Mason on Mitford. We hit the post. We had some chances off the line. We had the better chances than Curzon, but still couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. Must be disappointing in that way, but you must have seen some positives today.
If I'm honest, Paul, I thought we tried too hard. We've just spoken in the dressing room now about... it was like there was an anxiety about us today. Anyone that came to the York game saw us in free-flowing, playing the football that we played, was absolutely superb. And I think there was a lot on this game in terms of... There was a lot of talk building up to the game. I heard it numerous times. A lot of people asked me that this is a must-win game, and my response was always, it was not a must-win game. We could have won today and lose the next 10. It doesn't mean anything. If we'd have lost today, we've still got the 2 games in hand, and the permutations at the end of the season are what they are. So I think there was a lot of anxiety to eradicate the game from Tuesday out of the players' minds, and this has been a must-win. I just think we were just...
It may be because that Curzon are a team around where we are, and teams like Altrincham or Spennymoor are teams higher in the league, and people think that we need to beat the teams around us rather than teams really above us. That makes more impact on our results.
Well, I don't know. I'd probably look at it a different way. I just think there's 16 games to go. If we win
16,
if we win the majority of the games, if we went on a run as we have been doing, building up to the York game, then we'll be fine. I just don't want any anxiety to set in with the players. People will understand that I work on the psychology of the game, and I've just said in there that in previous leagues, when I've been in a position to win leagues and keep teams up, we've got to relax. We've got to relax our minds and not get too et up with what other people are doing around us and results. If we look after our own house, we'll be fine. I don't want there to be any anxiety. It's when players start to become anxious with the with the fixtures that you see for me a drop in performance levels and a drop in quality with the ball. So I thought that's how it was today. I mean, it was always going to be a game. I picked a team today because of the conditions.
Awful conditions, wasn't it, with the wind and...
it's the pitch is the worst it's been, and that might surprise a few people. Yeah, because it's hardened up now. It's hardened up. There's no when the ball rolls now. It's taking so many bobbles, and I think that when we're in possession, when we're in possession of the ball. A lot of our decision making is down to the conditions today. So
you think the players are thinking about the state of the pitch and what they're going to do to control the ball with the pitch rather than letting it happen naturally.
Yeah, a lot. It was both. I don't think both teams really played particularly good football today. But I think you'd have put Manchester United on that pitch today, and with the wind, the conditions, the state of the pitch. The psychology of both teams really wanted to know that, there was a different kind of pressure down there, Paul, that you get that kind of game. I suppose if you was a betting man, you'd have probably bet on a draw today or a 0-0. But no, moving forward, we I just kept him in there again, and I believe in talking really seriously and hard with the players when they don't put in the effort, when they haven't played well, and it's. When they haven't played well, like in a Tuesday night at Altrincham, I think they deserve to see the different side of me. today, I thought we worked really hard. I think we tried to do the right things. I just thought there was an anxiety probably about both teams, to be honest.
Snatching at balls when they should have control.
Yeah, and that's a million miles away from our performance at York, where we went there and apart from the result, we passed the ball superbly. Our movement was excellent. We created chances. In the future, there might be a case where I have to pick a team for home games, and I might have to pick a team for away games. That's how it's becoming because and systems. And I know, obviously, that sounds strange, but our main thing is to go through a run of consistent results now for the last 16 games that ultimately keep us. We achieve our goal this season, which is keeping the club in this league.
Are you a target man for points, or you just carry on?
No, carry on. It's. I always think if you set targets, football has it doesn't respect anybody, and it always has a chance of just throwing a curveball in there somewhere. There's always somebody. When I've been at the top of the leagues and going for promotion, there's always someone that comes out of nowhere and usually win the playoffs. And when we're where we are, there's always somebody that nosedives and gets pulled into it. And so I don't try and anticipate what other people are doing. People have probably heard me saying it a couple of times now, but it's an uncontrollable. I'd rather control or look at things I can control, and that's what my players do: controlling their minds, controlling their physicality, controlling the way they approach a game, dealing with the aftermath, whether we played well, whether we haven't played well, rather than look at what other teams are doing and trying to control that, because it never happens. It never happens. I'm not good as a coach to try and control what clubs around us are doing.
Well, we're going to be back with Altrincham league-wise a week today, so that will put that goes to bed hopefully. And in between time, maybe a game against Brackley in midweek in the Senior Cup, depending on the weather, of course, and the pitch. Two different sides, obviously, probably for those games.
Well, I mean, the Brackley game, it's a semi-final, so that deserves the respect of what it is. It's a great cup in the Nottinghamshire Senior Cup. When I was with Eastwood, it was always a trophy. Obviously, a trophy, and that's what we're here to do, to win trophies. So we'll play the strongest side. We need. There's some players that need game time now.
New goalkeeper Jack Burnett might get a run out.
Yeah, obviously Smithy's come in today. We've got one or two others that probably need to catch up. The likes of Kenners, it's his first 90 minutes. Linden probably needs once again to get sharper. Mills is missed today, so we've got one or two that they're going to need a bit of game time. So
Alistair Smith, how do you think that he coped with his first appearance out there?
Well, building into the game, Paul. I've seen him a number of times this season. I mean, he's played, I think, about 4 or 5 League Two games already this season for Mansfield. I think for 2 of them he's got man of the match in League Two. When I saw the conditions, he's technically gifted. He's a box to box. But when I saw the conditions, I believe in trying to help players out, and to chuck him into those conditions today. On the back of the psychology of how we played on Tuesday night, I thought it was best to introduce him off the bench. I said to him straight after the game when he went over to clap the fans, I said that was a baptism of fire, because that was a tough game to come on and play in.
Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, of course he did. He's a great kid. I think he'll enjoy his football here. Knowing him as I do straight away, he'll enjoy it, and hopefully he can go back to Mansfield a more rounded player. I don't think he'll go back a better player, but a more rounded player with the experience that he's got with us. So yeah, I think it's a positive signing. There should have been 2 coming in. We lost out on a centre forward late on. And that's to not for anything else than to give us. We know we've got 3 decent ones at the club, so it gives us better choices and better decision making during games and before games. So I think there'll be a few more coming through the door soon to bolster the ranks, Paul.
And some leaving.
No, not realistically. Obviously Joe Scars has left us. Joel Carter's left us for a month. That was his decision, and I respect that. He'd lost a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of mental sharpness. Wanted to get away for a month and play some football, and we hope he comes back and ignites us. Yeah, ignites us. He's a great kid. Been great working with him. We hope he comes back with a fresh impetus. Obviously. Javan, I'm thinking could be leaving us, so we freed up a little bit of finance, Paul, and I think now is the time, especially coming around this bend I call it the business end of the season, where we probably need to introduce one or two fresh faces and give us a fresh impetus that can give us the opportunity to make positive substitutions and more importantly be able to change the side from week to week. We've now got, I think it's 8 games in February. It's going to be tough. Players at this time of year don't really recover as quickly as they would do early in the season. So I think it's important that we've got adequate replacements to help the boys out.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much for that. Thank you for your update on the team. It's always good to hear players coming in and out and the reasons why they do that. Fans say that we don't often sort out the reasons for why these players leave, but there you are. You can hear Paul's views on that. We'll see you at Altrincham next Saturday, obviously in midweek here against Brackley. But thanks for that, Paul.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.